Today in our ridiculous recipes, we are going to test out a recipe for black bean brownies. So to start, we're going to take our black beans, some oil and some chocolate chips. We're going to put them in a food processor and blend them all until they are smooth. So I've drained my black beans and I'm just going to tip them into the food processor. So into there we are going to put half a cup of chocolate chips, which look remarkably similar to the black beans.
It's not dog food, it's Alana, not Alana. It's like done an accident. Sorry, it gets confusing sometimes. Oh, sorry.
Lucy put that bit in. Okay, and now into the food processor, we are going to put our oil. So this is rapeseed oil. So 3 tablespoons of oil have just gone in there, and now it just says to whiz it all up until it's smooth.
Oh, it stinks.
Smells like... Oh, that's what you could smell.
That is what I could smell. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It smells like dog poop.
So what Tom initially thought was me having an accident, turns out it's actually the cake mix. So I'm not sure which bit's worse. Okay, so we're gonna go in now with 3 eggs. So into the mix now, to give it some sweetness, we're gonna add 2/3, so 2 of my 3rd size cup measurements of brown sugar. It's like a little sandcastle. Then we're gonna add some cocoa powder. So this is to give it some richness. So this is half a cup, so we need half a cup of cocoa, which is quite a lot. It's gonna be very, very rich, I think. Now I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm gonna put a pinch of salt in there and half a teaspoon of baking powder. And then it just says to blend it until it's completely smooth. So let's do that now. So that's all blended now, and first things first, so we're gonna get a horrible smell when we lift this lid off. Oh, it looks good! It smells like brownie mix. Can't smell the beans anymore. Okay, so that's the mix done. Now we just need to put it in a baking dish, which has currently got eggshells in. One moment. I don't think I need to see this bit. Tastes weirdly alcoholic. Or like it's got coffee in it or something.
But you're going to be in the shop. Also, it's going to be a sound of munching.
So now we just need to spread this out into all of the corners. So now to finish it off, I am just going to sprinkle it with some more chocolate chips. So all that's left to do now is to bake it. So I'm going to put it in the oven at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes and then take it out and give it a taste. So the black bean brownie is out of the oven and it looks cakey. It doesn't look like the gooeyest of brownies, so I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but we're going to put into it and have a look. But it's very thin as well. It looks a bit sad. It looks like it hasn't risen at all. It looks really, 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 really dense, but like brick-like, not gooey. Not gooey like ridiculously rich brownies. That's really burning my hand. It's so chocolatey. It's like intensely chocolatey. It's predominantly cocoa powder in there in terms of the chocolate flavour. There's not that much actual chocolate in there. So in my opinion, it's a bit too like, it's gone past rich and then more into like that really bitter taste that you get from cocoa powder. The texture is horrendous. It's like just almost like eating a dense sponge. There's no like crispy edge and then gooey middle, it's just all one note. I personally feel like, for the fact that you've maybe saved a couple of calories, not really sure why you'd put the beans in there, this was a waste of an attempt and I definitely wouldn't make this again. This is probably the worst one we've done in this series so far. So yeah, a disaster. But at least we know it doesn't work. You want to try some? I'm just waiting for more.
Oh, hot.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I had worse brownies.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll take some doing.
It's bad, isn't it?
Just so bitter.
The texture's horrible as well, isn't it? Do you see what I mean about a dense sponge?
Yeah. Oh, it's painful to eat. Yeah, it's not good.
Disaster.
Disaster.